Good morning, fellowship, Hi-Crest, and today is Monday, February the 1st, and this is your Jumpstart. Today, our focal passage comes from John chapter 15, verses 1 through 16. And normally, because of our short time, I wouldn't read this whole thing, but I feel like it's important today. So let's jump into it. It says, I am the true grapevine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch of mine that does not produce fruit, and he prunes the branches that do not bear fruit so that they will produce even more. You have already been pruned and purified by the message I have given you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. For a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine, and you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. Yes, I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me, and I in them, will produce much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. But if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want and it will be granted. When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father. I have loved you even as the Father has loved me. Remain in my love. When you obey my commandments, you remain in my love, just as I obey my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you these things so that you will be filled with my joy. Yes, your joy will overflow. This is my commandment. Love each other in the same way I have loved you. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friend. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you slaves, because a master doesn't confide in his slaves. Now you are my friends. Since I have told you everything the Father told me, you didn't choose me. I chose you. I appointed you to go and produce lasting fruit, so that the Father will give you whatever you ask for using my name. This is my command. Love each other. All right. Man, this is jam-packed. One of the things I hope you heard was this repetition of remaining, or just this ideal of abiding. In times of tension and difficulty in relationships, the easy answer is to leave. But Jesus said, hey, remain in me. He said, if you remain in me, you'll be fruitful. A lot of times we think that we become more fruitful by trying harder, by doing more stuff. He said it's simply a state of abiding in him, staying in relationship. And then toward the end of the passage, he says something really significant. He talks about the change in titles that he gives his disciples. He said, hey, you're no longer slaves, you're friends. Here's my challenge. We're in a tense time in the church. And with the tension that exists, it's easy to label people in certain ways. Let's try to relabel everyone as friends. And then ask ourselves what it would look like to abide in those relationships in the same way that Jesus has abided in his relationship with us. He has remained in their relationship, allowing us to stay connected with him so that it may produce life-changing fruit. What does that look like for you? How are you going to fight for a relationship today? Continue to power up, pour in, spill out. Have a great day, and we'll see you on Wednesday for Jumpstart.